Welcome to the fly-through simulation for the recommended preferred alternative. This project is sponsored by Charleston County and managed by the South Carolina Department of Transportation. The Mark Clark extension is proposed as a 4-lane parkway, including a multi-use path connecting I-526 in West Ashley to the James Island connector at Folly Road. Let's get started. The Mark Clark extension would begin just west of the I-526 interchange with US 17 Savannah Highway. The existing interchange would be improved to allow access to both the east and westbound directions of I-526 as well as the Mark Clark extension. Access between I-526 and Sam Rittenberg Boulevard would continue as part of this interchange. US 17 would be widened to provide turn lanes to access the new interchange. The Mark Clark extension would be elevated to pass over the West Ashley Greenway. Pedestrians and cyclists would simply use a new ramp from the West Ashley Greenway to access the multi-use path, which would be located along the westbound lanes. The Mark Clark extension would bridge the Stono River and neighboring marsh. Parkway would curve when crossing onto Johns Island as it approaches Connector A. Connector A is the first of 2 new connector roads linking the Mark Clark extension to River Road, providing alternative routes between Johns Island and Charleston. Connector A would connect the Mark Clark extension to River Road near Rushland Landing and Murraywood Drive, west of Maybank Highway. We will see Connector A at its intersection with River Road in more detail later. The Mark Clark extension would remain elevated as it crosses over Maybank Highway and approaches Connector B. Connector B would also connect the Mark Clark extension to River Road just east of Maybank Highway. We will see Connector B and its proposed intersection at River Road in more detail later. East of Connector B, the parkway would become elevated once more as it curves to leave Johns Island and bridge the Stono River and surrounding marsh for a second time, entering James Island. Once across the marsh, the Mark Clark extension would begin to descend as it approaches Riverland Drive. Planted medians would be provided along the roadway in this area of the parkway. The intersection at Riverland Drive would be at ground level and includes a new traffic signal. Riverland Drive would be widened to provide turn lanes at this intersection. The multi-use path would continue along Riverland Drive to the entrance of the James Island County Park, completing this key regional pedestrian and bicycle connection. As the parkway continues from this intersection, the multi-use path would now be located along the eastbound travel lanes. The Mark Clark extension would cross over Riley Road and up on the Hill Road. As you can see, the area between Riverland Drive and Folly Road would also include planted medians. New ramps would be constructed to complete the interchange between the Mark Clark extension and Folly Road. The multi-use path would continue along Folly Road to Oak Point Road. Folly Road would be widened between Central Park Road and Oak Point Road to provide turn lanes for the new interchange as well as new bike lanes, a new multi-use path, and new sidewalk. The existing ramps between Folly Road and the James Island connector would stay in the same locations, and new ramps would be constructed between the Mark Clark extension and Folly Road. The project would end just east of the Folly Road interchange. Now let's take a closer look at connectors A and B, River Road, and Maybank Highway. Connector A refers to the western connection between Mark Clark Extension and River Road that would provide access to the areas west of Maybank Highway. Connector A would be partially elevated, crossing the marsh in this area. The multi-use path would also follow Connector A to the signalized intersection with River Road. River Road would be widened at Connector A to provide turn lanes. Outside the intersection areas, River Road will remain a two-lane roadway. As River Road approaches Maybank Highway, it would be widened to provide turn lanes, as would Maybank Highway. Moving east from Maybank Highway along River Road, we approach the signalized intersection with Connector B. River Road would also be widened in this area to provide turn lanes. The multi-use path would follow Connector B along its east side from River Road to the Mark Clark Extension to connect to the multi-use path along the westbound lanes. Thank you for viewing this fly-through simulation of the recommended preferred alternative for the Mark Clark Extension project.